field this quarter.
The Bulls shooting a mere 25% from the floor in this first quarter. Watson kicks to Snell. That's good, and the assist goes to Watson. Snell's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. Last game for Chicago, it was a loss to the Pistons in Detroit.
Yeah, the inability to make threes in that game, because they took a lot of them, I think, is why they ended up on the short end of the stick.
Yeah, they did take a bunch of them. Sometimes you can make up for poor three-point shooting with a strong inside game, but their inside game just wasn't strong enough.
Mirotic against Johnson. Kicks it to Watson. Mirotic has a wide open look from outside off the mark.
And I don't know if he needs a rest in this quarter or what, but he needs something to get off the snide.
Again, the miss by Knight. Bulls trail by 8. Here's Watson. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the swivel. Snell, that's good. And so here's Toronto, coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
And that kind of loss sticks with you for a while, because they...
And before the game, Star Center Joakim Noah talked about the intensity of...
I feel like we're the hungriest team.
I think Joakim can certainly make a case, Clark, for Chicago being that famished 5, especially with Rose back on the court.
There's no doubting that, Kevin. I mean, even the addition of Gasol with his 2 rings, the way he left things in L.A., that left him with an appetite that has him still hustling.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And taking a look here at the Raptors' performance here, guys. What have they been doing or not doing, in your opinion?
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another, as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
At the 4, it's Gasol with Noah at the 5. Brooks is out there with Heinrich, and it's Snell in at the 3 spot. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the 76ers played some outstanding basketball. He finished with 28 points, and in addition to his scoring, he also came away with a season high for rebounds. He seemed to be everywhere on the floor the entire time and really was the star of the show, Kevin.
Great, Doris. Thanks. Any chance we see him top that performance right here tonight?
You know, I can't imagine he'd be able to.
So, Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Samuel Dallenberg is checked in for Noah. Portis comes in for Pau Gasol. Mirotic is checked in for Tony Snell. And it's Watson in for Aaron Brooks. And finished off by Mirotic.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
DeRozan's shot is good.
Boy, what a significant turnaround here in the second quarter, after only making 40% from the field in the first.
Watson, the pass to Portis. Here's the screen. Mirotic. So he gets the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Toronto.
That mid-range shot has been a weapon for them up to this point, fellas.
They've also gotten into a nice rhythm from the three-point line early on tonight.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
And maybe cause some foul trouble along the way as well. And we know what that can do. It pays off typically in good fashion for you.
Up top, Knight, covered by Mirotic. And there are the Raptors with another bucket.
Right now, they've got that field goal percentage up in the low 50s.
Putting it together offensively, looking to build some more momentum.
Wide open. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. Mirotic has got 8 points.
They started the game off tortoise-like, but their offense coming to life.
Yeah, they've got a little bit more pep in their step as they start to put together some rhythm.
Watson dishes to Dallenberg. That is good. And now it's just a 4-point Toronto lead.
Yeah, they've raised their shooting percentage in this quarter, and they're starting to get on track.
And they're starting to heat up is what they're doing. They're on fire. I mean, that's what they need to climb back into this game.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Now here's Watson. He's guarded closely. Mirotic's shot is off.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
And so we wrap up the first.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment.
What a performance.
Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Samuel Dallenberg, he's checked in for Noah. Portis comes in for Pau Gasol. Tony Snell's checked in for Mirotic. And it's Watson in for Kirk Hinrich. A new group in now for the Raptors. Luis Scola, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Johnson comes in for Patrick Patterson. Knight's checked in for Damari Carroll. And Terrence Ross is subbed in for DeMar DeRozan. So for Toronto right now, Lowry and Ross pairing up in the backcourt. Scola out there with James Johnson. And it's Knight in at the 3. Again, Toronto.
That's what I call a captivating move there. He absolutely incinerated the D with that one.
Ross against Brooks. Dallenberg with a screen on Ross. And Brooks, here we go. Can't make good off the pick.
Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Knight against Brooks. High post shot. And another. Once again, shot good from Knight. Knight's got 22.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay.
Screen by Dallenberg. Brooks to end the run. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Freak.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
Joseph, he's checked in for Toronto. From about 16. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Last time they met was in Toronto where they beat the Raptors.
In the last meeting of these two teams, they were really sharp defensively, disrupting the flow of their offense and causing a ton of turnovers.
Very satisfying performance, Greg, and one they'll look to repeat tonight. I mean, they ended up winning and going away. I'm not sure who was supposed to pick him up, but somebody's going to get an earful from the coach for leaving him that wide open.
A nice shot by Knight.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3 ball with one of their own.
Greg, we've got a 3-point battle taking shape here.
To the middle. Here's Snell. That's good, and the assist goes to Watson. Watson's got assist number 5 here tonight.
They're not as aggressive from the outside here, but maybe they should think about stretching the defense a little bit, like they did in the first half. I mean, stretching the defense makes it easier to score inside, too.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
And Brooks, here we go. Here's Snell. Knight grabs the board. Knight's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Over to the wing. And Joseph kicks to Knight. 5 on the clock. Again, the miss by Knight. Now here's Brooks. And stolen by Knight. No good. Well, it's been an exciting game. Plenty of offense as we head to the 4th quarter. It's the Raptors up 4. And we've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The 4th quarter of action getting started. Chicago, Dalembert comes in for Mirotic, and Brooks subbed in for C.J. Watson. Knights checked in for Toronto. Lowry comes in for Joseph. Brooks out there with Heinrich. Then it's Pau Gasol. Then it's Dalembert. And it's Noah in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Bulls trail by 9. 1:52 left in the fourth. Brooks, the pass to Noah. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Here's Knight, the turnaround jumper.
Settle down.
Knight's got the lead up to 11 now for the Raptors. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Raptors.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, and also the way they've been able to generate points off of the turnovers that they forced tonight has also helped.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
What a performance from Joakim Noah here. 8 rebounds and also a block shot. That kind of mix of assists and rebounds is what wins you basketball games.
Clark, it's a rarity when you've got a guy that can just do it as well as he does on both ends.
The Bulls making a switch here. Mirotic is checked in, and the Raptors also making a change. Patterson's checked in, and that one's good.
And he has just been in a flow offensively. Terrific game. He has been the X factor.
Brooks up on top. Lowry covering. Lowry with the block. They recover it.
What are you doing? Stay down. Stay down.
Patrick Patterson. That's his 4th personal foul. 4th team foul. Pau Gasol. At the line for the Bulls.
That one is off. And he ends up making the second, and that brings them to within 10.
He needed to convert on all of those. Missed opportunities at the line are the last thing they need right now. And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for the Raptors.
And it may be a comfortable win for him, Steve, and in the end, but, you know, they had to weather a few storms along the way, Clark, and that's all part of the story.
That's right, Kevin. I mean, this is by no means a runaway that it might appear to have been. I mean, it was a scrappy performance all the way through.
And an important milestone for them tonight as they pick up win number 10.
Really a big-time win for these guys. They lost their first 2 games of the year to this team, so they won't be in danger of getting swept when they meet for the 4th time.
And you got to believe that's important, Greg. I mean, it's one thing to lose both games of an interconference series.
The other guys, as soon as the shot goes up, crash flat
to a team from your own conference.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Knight. Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised. Oh, that's a tough 3-point try when you've got the defense right there.
Well, he'd have to be really good to knock down a shot like that against that kind of defense.
And Joseph kicks to Knight. Pass to Joseph. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. They came in here and took care of business like they...
All right, now. What's up, girl?
Kyle can go.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Freak. He put up a new season high tonight. And if he keeps shooting like he did tonight before the season's over, he might top it. A big key to his team's victory here.
Seeing Freak dominate the way he did tonight reminded me of watching him play in high school. He was a man among boys. He was a 4-time consensus All-American back then. Overall, great game.
Just an unreal performance for him in so many ways. That was a player at the absolute top of his game. It's hard to imagine someone being any more dominant than he was tonight.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a good night, everybody.